savage behaviors that narcissists do that God can never forgive. Narcissism, a personality disorder characterized by an excessive need for admiration, grandiosity, and lack of empathy, can have dire repercussions for those who are in narcissistic relationships. These persons are capable of inflicting considerable emotional distress, leaving their targets bewildered, anguished, and unable to recover from the traumatic experience. An enormous challenge in narcissistic relationships is the frequent injustice they inflict. They have a tendency to place the blame on their victims and manipulate or gaslight them, causing them to doubt their own memories and perceptions of reality. Further, the victim's emotional distress is intensified. Following a narcissistic encounter with their target, the individual promptly and mindlessly disengages from the victim, as if the connection had never been established. The victim may experience feelings of bewilderment and anguish as they attempt to comprehend what went awry. Narcissists' contempt and lack of empathy towards others, regarding them as mere objects to be exploited for personal benefit, are abhorrent and challenging to comprehend. The 7 cardinal faults of narcissists, which are the 7 primary ways in which narcissists evade accountability for their destructive deeds, will be discussed in this segment. Register for updates and participate in the ongoing discourse regarding awareness raising. 1. Becoming a vampire of emotions. Narcissists take pleasure in taking advantage of your humanity, integrity, and human capabilities. They do it for the exhilaration of controlling others and deriving satisfaction from their authority over you. However, at what expense? They will do anything to achieve their own gratification, resulting in your mental instability and inability to differentiate between reality and delusion. A person loses touch with their true self, and the narcissist is oblivious to the damage they inflict. Their sole concern is acquiring the energy and resources that they require. Extreme gaslighting is the second. To exert narrative control, narcissists manipulate your story, emotions, and perception of them. Their objective is to coerce you into doing things against your will, persuade you to accept things you would not otherwise accept if they controlled your story. A distorted perception of oneself, one another, reality, and the world at large ensues. By obtaining your support, the narcissist intends to enable you to accept responsibility for actions that you did not commit and to place the culpability on your own shoulders. Putting another person's desires and values before your own and allowing them to dictate your life to the extent that you lose all sense of self-worth and forget who you are is untenable. The third perilous tendency is intentional ignorance. Narcissists consistently possess an unwavering awareness of their own desires and criteria. They recognize that by practicing consideration, respect, introspection, and accountability, they would gain advantages. Nevertheless, they opt not to implement these observations. Recall instances in which the narcissist appeared preoccupied with your demise or the loss of control over you. They transformed their demeanor momentarily and became more endearing. The individual's behavior is perplexing, given their awareness of the factors that were crucial for maintaining the relationship. Nevertheless, they coerced you into pleading for the essential necessities of the relationship: regard, comprehension, empathy, physical proximity, purpose, affection, and consideration. You are denied access to these crucial elements that contribute to the health of a relationship by the narcissist. In their fourth attempt to exert direct control over you, they engaged in a slander campaign. Despite coming to the understanding that their fabrications were without merit, they continued with their slander campaign. They disseminate inaccurate information with the intention of defaming you, motivated by their animosity. Accepting the fact that I must respect this individual, rather than yielding to their rage, can be difficult. Although relationship conflicts are commonplace, it is critical to release the past and create an environment conducive to rehabilitation. In contrast, the narcissist persisted in their attempt to exert dominance by disseminating false information and tarnishing your reputation via a slander campaign. This exerted a detrimental impact not only on your professional sphere, but also on your personal relationships. They committed this act out of self-preservation rather than concern for the suffering it caused you. This is deemed intolerable, as it has the potential to incite additional acts of vengeance motivated by envy, malice, and a desire for retaliation. Deception and infidelity in relationships constitute the fifth sin. It is a grave betrayal when a partner engages in extramarital affairs while concealing the fact from their significant other. This conduct demonstrates a deficiency in regard for the interpersonal connection. They may attempt to deflect culpability or dismiss their partner's emotions as irrational when confronted. This is a manipulative strategy that not only causes pain, but also undermines the relationship's foundation of trust. Narcissistic individuals possess an exceptional capacity to inflict injury by means of deceit and manipulation. They frequently engage in systematic and repeated lying, which hinders their companion's ability to discern the truth. This may result in an enduring emotional injury and a severe erosion of confidence. The process of recuperating from such a betrayal can be protracted and challenging. Certain individuals may never reclaim complete trust following an act of infidelity. It is crucial to confront such behaviors and make an effort to restore trust in the partnership, or alternatively, to seek assistance in terminating the relationship if that becomes necessary. Mistreatment of others physically is the sixth transgression. Although not universal, narcissists who resort to physical aggression can induce such a sense of fear in their victims that it becomes difficult for them to interact with others. Overcoming the persistent apprehension of the abuser's reappearance and potential injury may require an individual decades or even years to complete. The psychological and physical violence inflicted by the narcissist can induce feelings of instability in even the most secure surroundings. As the progeny of a narcissist father, I hold individuals guilty of physical abuse in the highest regard. An individual who resorts to violence exposes an inherent lack of empathy and an uncontrollable demonic and diabolical nature. Extraction is the seventh and concluding cardinal sin. Narcissists perceive others as expendable commodities, attributing this perception to their inflated self-importance and sense of entitlement. Their sole motivation for exploiting individuals is to acquire supplies or evade pursuers. They have no regard for the individuals themselves. Conversely, they pursue material wealth, sexual satisfaction, or other pursuits unrelated to compassion, concern, love, or the essence of humanity. Narcissists exploit and deceive others for their personal gain, reducing individuals to mere objects and exposing their fundamental survival instincts and preoccupation. We appreciate your attention throughout this episode. Kindly consider sharing the episode, leaving a like, or sharing your views in the comments section if you found it to be enjoyable. This discussion will be continued in the following episode. Commence the process of healing. Not just narcissists. Hence, the designation narcissist should hold no significance. In recent times, the term narcissist has become quite prevalent, often wielded even by those who themselves are accused of narcissism. However, actions driven by malicious intent can be undertaken by individuals, regardless of whether they align with the narcissistic label. These individuals might harbor feelings of envy, view you as a threat, or simply dislike you for reasons unknown. Ultimately, Certain actions taken by toxic individuals serve as warning signs of their untrustworthiness. Although the traits I'll discuss today are commonly associated with narcissists, individuals lacking narcissistic traits may also display a few of them. Regardless of whether you choose to label someone as a narcissist, it is prudent to maintain a safe distance if they exhibit the characteristics I will outline. Such individuals are likely to cause harm or betrayal in due course. It's essential to remember that safeguarding oneself against harmful individuals involves staying vigilant and refraining from providing justifications for inappropriate behavior. However, before delving further, I'd like to address two concerns that aren't included in my list of cautionary signs: lack of empathy and dishonesty. Empathy is a quality that can be imitated to some extent. Individuals might give the appearance of caring, exhibiting feigned contrition and sincerity, but their true nature contradicts these qualities. Narcissists are known for simulating empathy, and the extent to which they genuinely care about others often only becomes apparent when one is entangled in their behavior. Additionally, identifying a pathological liar may take time unless one intends to scrutinize every statement they make. Pathological liars fabricate information effortlessly, including trivial details like breakfast choices or making false assertions about family members still alive. Due to their efforts to conceal the truth, unraveling their falsehoods may occasionally demand a significant amount of time. Narcissists and other toxic individuals endeavor to mask, essentially, a lack of empathy and a penchant for dishonesty. Actions of toxic individuals. Hence, I will delve into behaviors overtly exhibited by narcissists and other toxic individuals, even as they may believe they can go unnoticed and conceal their depravity. Nevertheless, the primary goal of today's video is to caution you that it's advisable to disengage or distance yourself from individuals displaying such behavior before it becomes too late. Violation of boundaries. Furthermore, anyone who dismisses your boundaries should be a cause for suspicion. Toxic individuals consistently ignore the boundaries set by others, exerting pressure to achieve their objectives or coercing you into actions against your will. Some may use humor or light mockery to downplay the seriousness of their intentions and avert potential backlash, but their underlying objective remains unchanged. They aim for you to eliminate any inconvenient restrictions. Therefore, narcissists and other toxic individuals will either disregard your requests or act in direct opposition to them. Such individuals should be excluded from society, as every person has the right to establish their own boundaries. Understanding or agreement is not obligatory. Simple respect is. Additionally, toxic individuals struggle with this concept, exposing their self-centered nature and disregard for others. Indulging in the blame game. Another person to exercise caution around is someone unwilling to shoulder responsibility. When faced with unfavorable outcomes, they consistently attribute it to someone else. Even when clearly in the wrong, they refuse to admit to making a mistake. There is always another factor or individual to blame. Despite setbacks or shortcomings in their lives, they persistently avoid taking responsibility for their role. They must have said or done the right thing. Hence, they cannot be held accountable. These individuals will continuously try to shift the blame for their failures and undesirable behavior onto others, going to great lengths to justify their actions, regardless of how egregious. Being in close proximity to someone who will readily throw you under the bus is too perilous. Such individuals exhibit pathological lying tendencies and are delusional. Anyone could be sacrificed to shield their own skin. Perpetual requests. A third red flag is someone who constantly seeks something from you. Even if their communication is sporadic, it is always with an ulterior motive. Alternatively, They may be individuals who suddenly become overly friendly just before asking for a favor. These individuals are opportunists. They show no concern for your well-being, focusing solely on what they can extract from you. Tongue wielders. The fourth person to approach with caution is one involved in spreading slander. Gossipers disregard boundaries and freely talk about others behind their backs. Loyalty is not their forte, as they prioritize spreading rumors, regardless of their accuracy. If someone engages in gossip with you, it's a safe bet they're also gossiping about you. In the company of a gossiper, every word you say can and will be used against you. Additionally, they may manipulate your words to maximize their impact. Gossipers are untrustworthy, relaying any information you share to those willing to listen. Such individuals damage relationships and foster discord, taking more than giving. A final concern involves individuals who display inconsistency and unreliability, particularly in their lack of reciprocity. They make commitments they have no intention of fulfilling, consistently letting you down in times of need while expecting your support for them. No matter how much effort you invest in them, they won't reciprocate your support. Consequently, a relationship with such individuals becomes overwhelmingly one-sided, with you giving the most and them contributing the least, occasionally with token gestures of appreciation. However, the assistance they provide will consistently fall short of the efforts you make for them. In conclusion, it's crucial to recognize that an individual's toxic traits can be identified without labeling them as a narcissist. There are pathological liars who exhibit the self-centered, indifferent, manipulative behaviors discussed so far. It is strongly advised to steer clear of such individuals, as they are likely to betray or harm you. An official diagnosis is unnecessary to assess an individual's suitability for a healthy relationship. In conclusion, ultimately, it is recommended to withdraw in silence when opting to distance yourself from individuals of this nature. No discussion is warranted. Simply make yourself unavailable and utilize blocking measures if necessary. I've created a video that outlines the process of distancing oneself from a narcissist, and the advice is applicable to any harmful individual. A hyperlink will be provided on your screen and in the description box below. I'll refrain from further discussion for today. Please feel free to share any additional insights in the comments section. I genuinely hope this was helpful as always. Everyone, have a blessed week, and thank you for your attention. Far more sick so than no contact. Greetings, esteemed audience. Welcome back to another captivating journey of self-exploration and understanding. Brace yourselves as we embark on a detailed exploration of our topic, the enigmatic realm where a narcissist grapples with the aftermath of a failed romantic relationship. Our aim is to unravel the seemingly incomprehensible by gradually unveiling the components of this intricate puzzle. Together, we will engage in an intellectual exploration, dissecting the foundational structure of their psyche post-breakup. Narcissists, masters of duality, often commence their relationships by weaving an intricate tapestry of idealization around their partners. They shower affection and make promises that rival the grandeur of ancient legends, as if holding the keys to their partner's deepest desires. However, be prepared to be enthralled, for the narrative takes a complex turn as they transform into cunning architects, orchestrating slander campaigns that might give even Machiavelli pause. It's a dance oscillating between the sweet serenade of love and the bitter embrace of deception. As mentioned earlier, navigating these turbulent waters is akin to trying to tame a cyclone. At times, there's a temptation to view the tumultuous impact on our lives as a contagion that needs containment rather than an entity that should regulate it, mirroring the World Health Organization's influence. If you find yourself nodding in agreement, A gentle tap on the like icon serves as our silent agreement for this enlightening journey. What unfolds within the personal space of a narcissist following a breakup? One might assume they are devastated, especially if they have cut off all communication or removed you from their phone and social media profiles. In many instances, they orchestrate the breakup with the intention of leaving you in suspense, maintaining the option to return at any time. However, occasionally, you take the initiative and bring the relationship to an end when you realize it is deteriorating. This can be a beneficial decision for your well-being. However, it's essential to recognize that narcissists initially viewed you as their savior during your union. They perceived you as the solution to all their problems. Yet, how could you be the solution when they grapple with a myriad of issues and inner demons? In the end, you are not a miracle worker. Reconciliation with you is not possible. It would require years of therapy and perhaps a few exorcisms. Let's delve into what truly perturbs a narcissist. They cannot tolerate your state of being unbothered. When you stop providing them with the desired attention and control, it deeply unsettles them. Despite being adults, discarding, in their case, involves dismantling the core of their being. They cannot handle you becoming indifferent. It's important to emphasize that, ultimately, narcissists have no response to this. There is no answer to your proactive disengagement. Often, we assume that the narcissist is devastated when we reject them and cease initiating contact, believing they experience the same distress we do. However, the reality is that their attention swiftly shifts elsewhere. They will redirect their focus without much delay. Yet, it's crucial to understand that a narcissist will not offer closure willingly. They resist the idea of a closed door, as closure implies finality. They are confounded when you actively ignore them, abstaining from any contact and showing indifference, as if you have no interest in their activities or companions. They find themselves unable to respond because they crave your attention, regardless of your physical presence. Their desire is for you to share your emotions, the challenging experiences you're currently facing, and similar topics on social media. Therefore, it's advisable to refrain from engaging with the narcissist on social platforms for a while. Post-discard, they may employ various tactics, such as creating fake profiles and sending friend requests from suspicious accounts with minimal activity. However, one thing a narcissist cannot withstand is indifference. They can't handle your apathy, which essentially communicates, "I couldn't care less about your actions, diet, or whether you eat." This lack of concern is their Achilles heel, dealing a deep blow to their ego. The order in which they discarded you becomes inconsequential. While they may enjoy a semblance of control, they suffer when they can't access your social media or communicate with you due to being blocked on all platforms. Furthermore, when you reappear on social media projecting an image of carefree living. Some individuals may have familial experience with narcissists or have children with such individuals. In situations where emotional detachment is exhibited and their theatrics are met with a lack of reaction, it's known as grey swaying, and it proves highly effective. Indicating indifference suggests that they are a fleeting thought with no impact on one's well-being. This is a particularly undesirable outcome for a narcissist, especially if you were their previous source of supply. Soon after they transition to a new source, they may find you more appealing once again. Though seemingly implausible, it does happen. They might attempt to reconcile within days or weeks of starting a new relationship. However, they are bewildered when you genuinely become untroubled by their behavior. The concept that you have lost interest in them and their actions is something they struggle to process. Narcissists require your concern. It's a strategic move. Therefore, their experience of emotional detachment after being discarded is utterly devastating. Your complete lack of emotion and interest in their actions signifies that they have irrevocably lost you. Narcissists despise this realization, akin to a queen being cornered on a chessboard, as they keep the door open for a potential return. Their desire for control is paramount, and when your indifference to their behavior becomes apparent, they forfeit that control. This reaction is remarkably potent, capable of either reinforcing their fixation or, more frequently, causing severe emotional damage to their ego, leading to withdrawal. It constitutes a significant narcissistic wound that often proves irreparable. Please share this information with anyone who might find it valuable. Recognizing that your indifferent demeanor remains crucial to dismantling their power, even after a narcissistic rejection and avoidance of contact, is paramount. Stay resilient, remembering that recovery and success are achievable. For more insightful content, please like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Take care, and thank you for your support. This urgent need for you is the narcissist's unsettling reality. I want to share something important with each of you. If you've interacted with a narcissistic individual before, you understand the challenges that can arise. These relationships may feel like a prison, where you find yourself confined and compelled to participate in something that gradually consumes you. It's not easy, and that's completely understandable. You might wonder why narcissistic individuals seem to be continuously angry, regardless of the circumstances. Despite their utmost efforts to secure happiness, they still find a way to harbor anger. Why does achieving success in these relationships appear so elusive? The fundamental truth is that narcissistic individuals loathe the idea of being dependent on others, including themselves. While they crave validation, support, care, and companionship, the thought of relying on others for these needs terrifies them. They fear that expressing any need might make them appear weak and vulnerable. In their pursuit of maintaining a perception of superiority, they aim to be omnipotent rulers, prioritizing themselves over basic human necessities. However, deep down, they do need your assistance. This need clashes with their idealized self-image, leading to feelings of humiliation and anger if they perceive themselves as dependent on you. This frustration manifests as rage, akin to the displeasure you'd feel if your toothbrush suddenly started moving independently. However, to them, you're more than an object. You're a sentient being, which triggers feelings of humiliation and anxiety about their dependence. Ending a relationship with a narcissist can be disastrous due to their inability to comprehend emotions other than their own. Fearing any potential need, they strive for perfection to avoid appearing weak. Their persistent aversion to vulnerability and dependence results in continuous feelings of anger and frustration. Dealing with a narcissistic individual can be challenging, and it's okay to struggle. Remember that your presence cannot needs, even if they refuse to acknowledge it. They need your companionship just as much as you need theirs. Now is the time to prioritize self-care, put on that mask, maintain a healthy distance, and recognize your own value. Stay composed, and thank you for your time. You've likely observed that these individuals struggle to accept compliments or acknowledge when your efforts exceed their expectations. Strangely, their reliance on you, evident in your actions, triggers anger. It forms a destructive cycle where they increasingly need your assistance more than you need theirs, and their fury grows in proportion to your efforts for them. The problem arises from the inherent imbalance in these relationships. As you provide more support, they develop resentment towards their dependence on you. Unfortunately, reducing involvement or disengaging isn't a viable option, as it would invite criticism or demands, intensifying their humiliation. Especially if you spend a considerable amount of time with these individuals, it's crucial to recognize that you become a persistent source of shame for them. Their dependence on you lies at the root of the toxicity in these relationships. Meeting their needs becomes an almost obligatory duty, leaving you feeling like you're treading on eggshells around them. Regardless of how well you think you understand their requirements, they will always demand something else, making it impossible to fully satisfy them. The deprivation experienced by these individuals can be draining, contributing over time to heightened frustration in the relationships. An initially accommodating stance towards their needs may eventually lead to a gradual escalation, resulting in a destructive cycle of despondency and animosity. Remember that their implicit desire for validation inevitably resurfaces. Thank you, everyone, for your time.